This is very exciting. There's so many things happening behind me, and I love it. So hi, I'm Isabel Ikard. I've been here for the last 7 installments, talking a little bit about this franchise of silly car movies that means so very much to me. Normally I throw in some sort of trivia at the end, but I'm gonna get it out of the way here because Fast 7 is kind of hard for me to talk about. Um, First of all, some housekeeping. As Zach mentioned, we're going to be showing Fate of the Furious, and we wanted to have a chance to get y'all involved a little bit. These events are mostly due to the hard work of Zach from Museum of Human Achievement, Tanner, David McMichael, Jenny from Hyperreal Film Club, all of the amazing filmmakers who have contributed recap videos, our DJs, everyone has come together to put out this really, really amazing project, but it wouldn't be what it is without all of you. There's a lot of people who I see who've been here every time or almost every time and keep coming back, and that means the world to us. So we're going to have another microphone set up here for people to come up and talk if you feel so inclined about cars that are important to you, the movies that you have been watching, road trips you've been on, anything sort of on brand. And I'm really looking forward to it. So in terms of trivia, there are two really important things that you need to know about Furious 7. The first is this is actually the first of all of the movies that takes place chronologically after Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. We're finally in the present, more or less. Because Han was so popular, the decision was made after Tokyo Drift to shift around the continuity a little bit. And so the true order of the franchise is The Fast and the Furious, turbocharged prelude to Too Fast, Too Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Los Bandoleros, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Tokyo Drift, Furious 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7. That's always fascinated me. I don't always totally get it, but I do think that there's some really important consequences of that I'll talk to you about in a minute. The other thing, the second important fact, is that in preparation for the movie, this is very important, and I want you to keep this in mind as we all watch it together. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson ate 3 pounds of cod a day.
Yeah.
His full meal plan consists of meal 1, 10 ounces of cod, 2 whole eggs, 2 cups oatmeal, meal 2, 8 ounces of cod, 12-ounce sweet potato, 1 cup of vegetables, meal 3, 8 ounces of chicken, 2 cups white rice, 1 cup vegetables, meal 4, 8-ounce cod, 2 cups rice, 1 cup vegetables, 1 tablespoon fish oil, meal 5, 8-ounce steak, 12 ounces baked potatoes, spinach salad, meal 6, 10 ounces of cod, 2 cups rice, salad, meal 7, 30 grams casein protein. Can anyone guess what else?
Cod.
Wrong. 10 egg white omelets, a cup of vegetables, and a tablespoon of omega-3 fish oil. It's very important that we bear this in mind, that over the entirety of production and during preparation, The Rock ate almost 3 pounds of cod a day. This is one of my favorite things about this franchise, but I'm also stalling a little bit. There's a shadow of loss that hangs over Furious 7 within and without the universe. Fast 6 ends with the death of both Han and Giselle. Giselle's death on the tarmac during the climax, saving Han from certain death himself, and then a recontextualization of Han's death in Tokyo Drift. It's an unusual choice, a kind of daring one, to shift the chronology around like that and make a character's death some 4 movies ago suddenly cast in a different light, changing it from a random death to the efforts of a new antagonist. But I do think it's the only thing they could have done. In Tokyo Drift, Han has to die for Sean Boswell to complete his arc. He has to be the mentor that gets caught up in something bigger than him and then dies to pass on his legacy and to provide the emotional momentum for Sean Boswell. The exact particularities of it don't matter too much, but his death ends up feeling somewhat shallow, and after getting to know him over 3 more movies, that is only intensified. It would have felt even more so uncaring and arbitrary, considering how strongly we all end up caring about him. Recasting his death as significant as the driver of conflict is necessary, providing a kind of post facto closure. You see, he didn't die for no reason. He didn't die accidentally. He can be avenged. His death demands vengeance because he was such an integral part of the franchise moving forward and of the characters' lives. Outside of the canon, the family also suffered loss. Justin Lin, director of movies 3, 4, 5, and 6, left the franchise after the 6th movie due to burnout and an accelerated release schedule. James Wan, a horror director known for the Saw and Insidious franchises, steps into his shoes, and I think he performs admirably. You lose some of Justin Lin's signatures, but he makes up for it, and he nails the tone and directorial vision. And there's Paul Walker also. Principal photography for Furious 7 began in September of 2013. On the night of November 30th, during a break for the Thanksgiving holidays, Paul Walker left a charity event with one of his friends driving his Porsche. A little bit after midnight, going around a corner, the driver lost control and collided with a tree. The car burst into flames and both men were dead on the scene, a combination of the trauma from the crash and a fire that burned the car. I don't get choked up about celebrity deaths very much, and I think it's always a little bit silly. These are people who are far removed from us. But Carrie Fisher and Paul Walker still, I get misty-eyed thinking about it. Furious 7 was going to be the first of these movies that I saw in theaters. I came to the franchise a little bit late. And I think what's tragic about it is not just the loss that I felt of this character that I had come to know and this actor that I had come to know through his role and through his interviews passing, but also seeing the loss and the grief reflected in his family. And we talk about family and the family that the characters provide, but you only have to watch one interview from around that time period of Vin Diesel talking about his brother to know that they were a family too. Jordana Brewster had to start filming later than the rest of the cast. She plays Mia Toretto, Paul Walker's, Brian O'Connor's wife and the mother to his children. And because of that, the last scenes to be filmed after his death were the scenes of the two of them interacting, their love for each other, relating to each other as a married couple and as parents. Paul Walker was replaced by body doubles, CGI imagery, footage from past movies. Jordana Brewster had to stand on stage, on a set, across from this man and act as though he was her brother. There's this shadow of loss that hangs over the whole movie. It's a movie about loss and about revenge, and unfortunately there's no revenge to be had from a freak accident. There was no mechanical error. The driver wasn't intoxicated. It was a freak accident. This franchise means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons, and some of them are a little bit silly and some of them aren't. When Zach reached out to me, my goal was to bring a little bit of that care to all of you. I think that it's sometimes okay to be ironically detached from things and enjoy things on a surface level, but there's so much here. There's so much heart that if you take a moment and engage with it, you'll come to love these people. I really believe that no one is immune from that. I fell in love with them. I fell in love with Paul Walker from the first time that he smiles on screen, when he doesn't at all come close to beating Vin Diesel in his first quarter-mile race. I'm very, very glad that all of you are here. I say that every time, but this is a very powerful movie, and I'm really glad that we're all here together for it. Thank you all so much for coming to Furious 7.